Harbor Freight can be the place where you're saving money, or it can be the place where you're wasting the most money. It all depends on one thing. But in reality, most people are buying the wrong way. I used to be someone who didn't trust Harbor Freight, even avoiding it, until I started testing their tools for 3 years and discovered an unspoken rule they never mentioned. Once you understand it, you will never look at Harbor Freight the same way again. And in the next few minutes, I will reveal that unique secret to you. If you were like me before, then in your mind, you almost automatically thought Harbor Freight equals cheap equals low quality. Like just by looking at the price, you can already guess the quality. A tool that costs a few dozen dollars can't possibly last long or be reliable, right? And honestly, I used to think exactly the same way. There was even a time when I almost completely avoided Harbor Freight because I believed that buying cheap stuff is just saving up front, paying later. But then I started testing it out initially, just out of curiosity, and that lasted for over 3 years. And this is when everything started to deviate from what I thought. There are some dishes, they really are bad. Using it for a while, you'll see the problem immediately, no need to argue. But at the same time, there are also items that make me go, wait a minute, why is this so good, not just okay, but good for the price, even competitive with much larger brands? And the more I tested, the more I realized something very important. The issue has never been whether Harbor Freight is good or bad. The problem is, I bought it the wrong way. Where did I go wrong? The mistake is in viewing all the tools there as the same at the same level with the same quality. But in reality, it's not that simple. Harbor Freight does not operate on a one brand, one quality basis. It's like a hidden system, and if you don't understand that system, you'll always fall into one of two situations, either buying something terrible by mistake or missing out on something extremely valuable. And at this point, the only secret I mentioned at the beginning of the video starts to reveal itself. But before I dive into that, if you like this kind of straightforward practical analysis, the kind that speaks the truth, tests the truth without any embellishments, you might consider subscribing to the channel, not to support me, but so you don't miss out on things you should have known earlier. And now I will show you the first items that completely changed my perspective on Harbor Freight. And this is when things start to get interesting, because what I'm about to say, honestly, I didn't believe it at first either. Let's start with something I once advised everyone to avoid at all costs: the Hercules table saw. In the old version, I outright criticized it. The fence was terrible, the design was off, and it was very uncomfortable to use. But then they released a new version, and I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? They upgraded to a rack and pinion fence system. If you've ever used a job site saw or contractor saw, you'll know this is almost the industry standard. The great thing about it is that when you adjust it, both ends move in sync. So the accuracy is very stable. It's not the kind where you adjust it and still have to align it by eye. And what surprised me even more is it actually works. It's not just something that sounds good on paper. When you cut hardwood, cut plywood, everything goes very smoothly. Even the included saw blade is decent, and you know, most table saws in this price range come with pretty bad blades, almost requiring an upgrade of an additional $30 to $50. Here, there's one thing you can see very clearly. It's not that Harbor Freight is naturally better, but rather that their products have gone through a long enough upgrade cycle to become reliable. Next is an area where I think many people are paying more than necessary: dust collection. I have tried high-end systems, Milwaukee Festool, and I can't deny they are very good, but the price is also very good. And then I tried the Hercules dust extractor. To be honest, I didn't expect much, but then it has the things you really need: adjustable suction power, a self-activating socket when you turn on the machine, and most importantly, a dual HEPA filter, the thing that helps trap fine dust, which is truly harmful to health. And when you look back at the price, you start to wonder, am I paying for performance or for the logo on the machine? This is one of those moments that makes me start to doubt how I've been evaluating tools all along. Then there are battery-powered tools, cordless tools, and this is probably the biggest shock. I used to think that Harbor Freight's battery tools were just for temporary use. But the Hercules line is completely different. The drill has enough power, multiple torque settings, and even a hammer drill mode. The impact driver has an auto mode that increases power when needed, and reduces it when not helping you avoid stripping screws or wasting battery. For the router, I intentionally pushed it to the limit, attached a large bit, set the depth deeper than usual, and it still ran smoothly. But the pinnacle, the thing that really made me stop and reconsider everything, was the cordless sander. I compared it with over a dozen machines from major brands Milwaukee, Makita, Bosch, Festool. And do you know the result? It ranks among the top. Not just decent for the price, but truly good when compared directly. And its price, about $50 to $60. At that moment, I realized something a bit hard to accept. There are products at Harbor Freight that are not only worth the money, but are also being unfairly underrated. And if you're watching this, you might be starting to feel like I did back then, it seems I've missed quite a lot. But wait, because these are just the tip of the iceberg. There is still another group, smaller, less mentioned, but bringing immense value in practical use. And those are the hidden gems that most people walk past without even realizing what they just missed. If you find this part starting to make you look at Harbor Freight a little differently, then stay for a few more minutes. The next part might surprise you in a very different way. So don't take your eyes off it. After talking about the big impressive items, I want to pull you back to a different angle, a bit more practical, because if you've ever worked in a workshop or simply made things at home, you'll know sometimes what makes the difference is not the most expensive machine, but the small, timely, and appropriate tools. First is the Bremen parallel clamp. This is one of those things I wish I had known earlier. Its price is only about $35 to $40 each, while major brands like Bessie or Jet can be double or even more. And if you only look at the price, you might think, well, it must be just mediocre. But when actually using it wood jointing, glue up holding the panel, it does the job sturdy enough, stable enough. Nothing too fancy, but nothing that bothers you either. And that's the good part. It doesn't try to impress, it simply does its job well. Next is something that many people overlook just because it looks a bit old-fashioned, the hand screw clamp. At first I thought this is probably something only the old-timers use. But when you need to hold a small detail or clamp at an angle or even apply vertical pressure, it becomes extremely useful. This is the kind of tool you don't use every day, but when you need it, you'll be like, good thing I have this. And if you've ever found yourself in a situation where you needed an extra hand to hold a detail, you'll understand that feeling. Then there's an even smaller item that almost no one thinks of: a magnetic tray. It sounds simple, yes, it's just a tray with magnets. But if you've ever assembled or worked with small screws, you'll know how much time you can lose if you misplace a few screws. There is a tray like that, you throw all the screws into it, stick it to the metal table, and everything stays there. It doesn't fall, it doesn't get lost, you don't have to crawl on the ground to find it. The price is very cheap, but the value it brings is much higher than the money you spend. And if you notice, there is a common point among all these items: they are not flashy, not things to show off to your friends, but they are what makes your work smoother every day. The big issue here is it's not the expensive tools that help you work better, but the tools that fit the way you work. And it is precisely because of these small items that I began to realize Harbor Freight not only has great deals, but also a lot of hidden value in things that people often overlook. But not everything there is worth buying, and to be fair, I will also show you the things that I think you should avoid, because this is the part that helps you not waste money in the wrong way. And if you prefer practical sharing, not always praising, but also pointing out things to avoid like this, then you can stay with the channel, because the next part will be quite straightforward. Alright, let's be straightforward. Not everything at Harbor Freight is worth the money. And if you only look at the price and buy, it's easy to end up with items that make you regret spending money later. First, measuring tools. I tried placing two rulers of the same size next to each other, and the result was a discrepancy in the measurements. For me, this is a huge red flag, because in work, a small initial error can lead to a completely wrong final result. And honestly, with things like rulers or tape measures, you can definitely find a more accurate option without a significant price difference. Next, F-style bar clamp. The issue does not lie in the design, but in the material. Soft metal easily bends under pressure, At first you might not notice, but after a few uses it starts to show its weaknesses. And once the clamp can't maintain a stable grip, then everything you're doing becomes unreliable. The corded sander from Harbor Freight is also something I'm not impressed with. When compared to similarly priced options from DeWalt or Craftsman, you'll see a clear difference from smoothness vibration to the overall feel of use. This is one of those cases where saving up front doesn't really bring long-term value. Then comes the chisel and hand planing. The issue still comes back to the steel material. Cheap types often do not maintain sharpness for long, meaning you will have to sharpen them more frequently and their working efficiency will significantly decrease. If it's only for rough processing, it's acceptable, but if you need precision or a nice finish, then you shouldn't. And finally, Chicago Electric and Drill Master, the lowest tier. Not unusable, but if you plan to use it frequently, this is not the right choice. It is designed for very light, occasional use, not for serious work. The key point here is cheap does not mean a good deal. A cheap item that is not effective. In the end, it is still a waste. And if you pay attention, all these things to avoid have one thing in common. They are not just bad, but they are at a very specific level in the system I mentioned from the beginning. And that's when we return to the most important part of this video, the one secret that if you understand it, you will never make a wrong purchase again. If you find this part helps you avoid a few unfortunate purchases, then stay tuned. The next part is what ties everything together. Alright, this is the most important part of this video. If you remember just one thing, then remember this part. Harbor Freight doesn't sell tools the way you think. They are not simply a brand, a quality. The fact is, they are selling you a 3-tier pricing system. Lower tier, Chicago Electric / Drill Master, called Good. Middle tier, Bauer, called Better. High tier, Hercules, called Best. Sounds simple. But the important thing is not the name or how you understand it. These are not 3 different products competing with each other. These are 3 different usage levels. And this is exactly where many people, maybe me in the past, have completely misunderstood. You walk into the store and see 3 drills placed next to each other, different prices. You think, oh, the cheaper one is probably just a slightly weaker version, and then you choose the cheapest one, thinking that you just saved some money. But that's not the reality. You're not just buying a cheaper drill, you're buying a completely different experience. And that's why some people criticize Harbor Freight after using it. What kind of junk is this? While others say, why do I find it fine? It's not that they use different methods, it's that they are on completely different levels. Here is the simplest way for you to understand and apply immediately. If you only use the tool very rarely, like once every few months, then good is enough. If you work on projects over the weekend, using it a bit more frequently, then better is reasonable. If you use the tool continuously and seriously, then don't choose best. What's the wow factor here? It's the same type of tool, for example, a drill, a sander, a saw. But as long as you choose the right level, your experience will be completely different. Not just 10 to 20% better, but completely different. And when you look back at everything I've said from the beginning of the video until now, you'll see everything starting to come together. The things I praised, most of them, are on the higher floors. The items I criticize, almost all of them, are at the lower tier. It's not that Harbor Freight is sometimes good and sometimes bad, it's that they are always consistent. That system. And once you understand this, you will no longer have that kind of confusion. You won't walk into the store with a vague hope of buying something decent, but you'll know exactly what you're looking for on which floor and why. That's why I call this the only secret that changes everything. Not because it's complicated, but because it's too simple yet overlooked. And trust me, just by applying this, you will avoid most of the wrong purchasing decisions. But there's still one more step for you to fully optimize your shopping here. Not only choosing the right floor, but also buying at the right time in the right way to save as much as possible. And in the next part, I will guide you on how to buy correctly and save even more. Alright, now this is the part that I think even those who have been buying from Harbor Freight for a long time haven't fully utilized. Because if you only stop at choosing the right tier, then you've only done half the job. The other half is buying the right way to save more, and believe me, you can definitely save quite a bit more even if the product itself is already cheap. First, the simplest yet most often overlooked coupons. Harbor Freight almost always has promotions. You just need to sign up for their email or SMS and the coupon will be sent to you automatically. It sounds basic, but many people still don't do it. And so they pay full price for something that could have been cheaper immediately. If you want to dig a little deeper, there's a pretty interesting hack, hqpdb.com. This is like a database compiling Harbor Freight coupons. You just need to enter the product name or item code, scroll down, and you'll see the available deals. It's not an official page, but it's extremely useful if you want to quickly check if there are better deals before making a purchase. Next is something that many people overlook when comparing prices warranty. Many corded tools at Harbor Freight only come with about a 90-day warranty, quite short compared to major brands. But on the other hand, the Hercules cordless line can go up to 5 years. And this is more important than you think because sometimes a product that is cheaper initially, but has a short warranty and high risk ends up not being cheap in the long run. One more small detail to pay attention to: restocking fee. Harbor Freight may charge around a 20% fee if you return certain products. Not all, but enough for you to read carefully before buying, especially with high-value items. The issue here is very simple. You can still save more even after buying cheap items. And when you combine both things, choosing the right floor and buying the right way, then you will truly optimize the money you spend. If you find these tips useful, like small things that you can use right away, then you might consider following the channel because I will share more similar things, not complicated, but helping you avoid unnecessary expenses. So if I had to summarize the entire video in one idea, it would be this: Harbor Freight is not a place for cheap, low-quality tools, but a place where you need to understand how to choose, otherwise it's easy to make a wrong purchase. The difference doesn't lie in the store, but in the way you approach it. If you still look at everything the same way, you will always see it as hit or miss. But when you understand each layer of the product, know what you need, and apply a bit of strategy when buying, then with the same amount of money, you will have a completely different experience. And I think this is what many people need, not to buy more, but to buy smarter. Now, I'm quite curious. Have you ever bought something at Harbor Freight that you felt was really worth the money? Or on the contrary, is there anything you bought and just wanted to forget? Just share below, because sometimes your experience can help someone else avoid a wrong decision. If you find this video useful not just for entertainment but also applicable, you might consider subscribing to the channel. I will continue to create content like this, simple, practical, and helping you avoid unnecessary mistakes. And a small note: everything I share is based on personal experience and practical experimentation. Each person's needs will be different, so you should still consider your own usage before making a decision. And now, hopefully, the next time you step into Harbor Freight, you won't be making impulse purchases anymore.